So this is Cheryl Morgan at the Australian National Science Fiction Convention in Adelaide, and I'm here with the guest of honour, Julie Czerneda, and their husband Roger, and they've been doing the tour of Down Under, so they've been in New Zealand as well, so they're ideal people to tell us all about what it's like touring this part of the world in advance of Worldcon in Melbourne next year. So perhaps we could start with New Zealand folks. How was it in Auckland?
It was wonderful. It really was.
Yes, the people there were very similar to people back home. We felt very comfortable there. There was nothing that made us feel uncomfortable from the point of view of dealing with money or checking into hotels or anything like that. Everything was really, really nice.
And very welcoming. You know, the people were just fantastic. And the convention well run, and just the country itself is just amazing. You have to have time to go through there.
Yeah, did you do a lot of touring around New Zealand?
Well, we took 10 days beforehand, and we took advantage of the generosity of fans down there to stay with and make new friends and stay with them, and that was the best. So if anyone's coming to Worldcon and does have a chance to go to New Zealand first, I highly recommend it. Their convention will be the week before in Wellington.
Yep.
Yes, and it is a beautiful place to see. It's well worth the time to take a few days and just get a feel for it anyways.
Did you see any of the South Island at all?
No, we concentrated on the North Island. We knew we wouldn't have time to do justice to it.
Maybe next year then.
Yes, maybe next year.
That would be
For sure,
fantastic,
it's on
yeah.
our agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Wellington actually. It's a lovely little city, and I love the museum with the colossal squid and
Yeah.
the weta shop.
And everywhere you turn, it's beautiful. I mean, the country's it's just a photographer's dream.
Yes, and then the Weta shop is a beautiful place. If, you got a few minutes,
You
it's
can go
well
drill
worth the
there,
trip.
yes, for sure.
Alrighty, and now you've made it over here to Adelaide. Did you get to see any more of Australia at all?
Just Adelaide. We came straight here for the convention, but we took a couple of days.
Yes, Adelaide is lots to see here by itself, but no, we didn't see any more of the Australia. It's a big country.
Yeah. There's parrots. There's parrots everywhere.
Yeah, well, there's all sorts of parrot-like birds, and the galahs are almost like pigeons in
Yeah,
places.
it's amazing.
Yes,
It's amazing.
It's well worth this
And
time
the-
to take to see it.
And the people, the convention, fantastic. I mean, I have no doubt that the Worldcon here next year is going to be absolutely outstanding.
Alright, did you get to go on the chocolate factory tour?
No, we
No,
didn't.
no, we didn't. We hid away from that. The chocolate here is way too good.
Yes, people here love their chocolate and their wines.
Oh,
It's,
yeah,
They
and
certainly
deservedly
do.
so.
Yeah, it takes a lot for somebody who lives in California to say this, but actually South Australia produces some of the best wines in the world. I'm very partial to them.
And the New Zealand Sauvignons, well,
Indeed, yeah. And the convention here in Adelaide, how's that been going?
conjecture, this is the fourth day. It's gone very, very well. We had a very successful workshop. Well, I had very successful workshops as well in New Zealand. And really just a very comfortable, friendly, welcoming atmosphere. It's great.
I noticed you actually worked fairly hard, and particularly in Auckland, you were doing panels back to back to back all the time. I mean, is that something that's necessary, somebody doing a tour like this, where you're the only big name star?
No, it was my doing, really. I just said I like to be busy, and to come this far, I really felt that it was my responsibility to contribute as much as I could. Plus, I wanted a chance to work with the writers in Auckland and in Adelaide. I was with Dr. Helen Merrick, and we worked with educators here, so it was just a joy. I'm just not a sit-still person.
I must admit, everybody I've spoken to is absolutely bowled over by how enthusiastic you two have been, how you've thrown yourselves into the convention experience.
well, we love going to conventions, and I said the people here are just so friendly. It's hard not to stay around and visit
Oh,
with
yeah.
them and
And there's-
talk. There's so much to talk about. We wish we had 2 or 3 more days.
Or months.
Months, yeah.
Right. How do your books sell out here, Julie?
From what I'm hearing, when they're available, they sell very well. Australia in particular is known for its science fiction, and even in Auckland and Wellington, there was a lot of interest in my work. A lot of people had never heard of me, which is one of the best reasons to travel, really. I mean, if they meet me and they like what they hear, that's going to be what they read.
Well, that's interesting, actually, because I can imagine a lot of people saying, people don't know me out there, there's no point in my going, whereas you're saying exactly the opposite.
Oh, absolutely. If you go just to be with friends all the time, you're not helping expand knowledge of your work.
Yes, we find that even within Canada or the U.S., we go to different cities where you're not really well known or whatever. And being there points the limelight at you a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. Now, you said when the books are available. Is that an issue with distribution, publishing in Australia?
They are much more expensive to buy down here, and so people do rely on the independent booksellers a great deal, and there are wonderful, wonderful booksellers down here. So they went to an extra effort and made sure all of my stuff was available, which I appreciated. It would be nice to think that they were more readily available in every store, but I think that, certainly this is going to help.
Yeah, I was pleased to see like Barbra in Auckland and Justin Aykroyd here. They're doing a fabulous job pushing your books.
Fantastic. Always, you always find these people. They're the heart and soul of science fiction.
We love them.
We do, we really do.
Yay for booksellers. Yes.
Yes.
Actually, they've also become very good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a perfect ally situation, isn't it? You want to sell books, they want to sell books.
And they don't get into selling genre fiction unless they love it. So, you have that common bond right off the bat. So we learned about many other authors when we were down here, and I'm looking forward to reading them.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that strikes me about this region, when I lived in Melbourne, almost 15 years ago now, everybody was saying how hard it was for Australian writers to become known, and they were, quite grateful, many of them, for my writing about them in Emerald City because it helped them get known in the States. But these days with the internet, I think it's really opening up for
really is.
Australian and New Zealand writers.
It really, really is. And such talent down here. I mean, the art and the writing that we've encountered. I mean, these people, whoever isn't known already will certainly be known. I think the WorldCon will be very helpful to expose just a remarkable talent pool.
Yeah. I think the people here gotta get over their shyness and come forth and present their materials, because I think that's what we're seeing is they're hidden gems here that nobody knows because they're not showing their materials somewhere on the internet or at conventions.
Sure.
So.
And not only like the professional writers as well, but there's some fabulous costumers here.
Oh, the costumers. The fan guests of honor, Catherine and Steve Schultz, just blew us away with their work. I mean, they've been doing this for years, and they have got to go to WorldCon. We're going to keep leaning on them for that.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to Melbourne, but I just love to see them elsewhere. The trouble with costuming is that the costumes themselves can be very heavy, and that makes them difficult to transport.
Yes.
So,
Well, these people are so good at making their costumes. I can just imagine them going with nothing but duct tape and pulling something together when they get there. I mean,
well, we do that occasionally. We did it in Glasgow because there's a tradition in the UK of making costumes at the con. So.
And I'm sure they would just do some amazing work.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and just finally, as I have two Canadians here, people will be looking forward to coming to Montreal very soon now.
Anticipation.
So would you like to do a little bit of PR for your home country?
You've got to come. I want to see nothing but friends. Everyone will be friends. No, it's going to be marvelous. Montreal is absolutely a fantastic city. You can get anything you want to eat there. The people are just great. You don't need to worry about not speaking French because, trust me, they speak wonderful English. No, what else can we say?
Well, it's very similar being here in Australia or New Zealand. It's very easygoing. You don't have any kind of problems politically or whatever. It's just like being at home, really.
Yeah. We'll take you in with open arms, and the only trouble will be that you won't want to leave.
Okay, well, Julie and Roger, thank you ever so much for talking to me.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thanks,
Great to
Cheryl.
see you.
Okay, bye.